think that this picture largely depicts the current mood of Bernard Chukwueze, popularly known as Chairman Wontumi, Ashanti Regional Chairman of the NPP. Now, this is a picture that was from Monday. Today is Wednesday. Monday, when he appeared before the court. Now, there's a backstory to this. When President Mahama met the coalition of CSOs on Galamsey to discuss several things that the president wants to do and find solution to Galamsey, the Attorney General during his presentation did indicate that he wanted Wontumi in Accra on Monday. His lawyers were saying that they will come on Tuesday, and he told them that if they do not submit Wontumi on Monday, he will cause his arrest. So Wontumi on Monday appeared at the police CID headquarters to answer some questions. This picture is from the High Court yesterday. That is Tuesday, when Wontumi and his lawyer, the Venerable and the appeal could be former Member of Parliament for Asante Achimnof, went to the High Court because they wanted to hear what charges the Attorney General will be prosecuting Wontumi on. Now, what is the conclusion? Yesterday, there were a lot of news about Wontumi, but my online story source from Kenneth Aochodakon sums up everything that happened yesterday. Now, the story reads, Wontumi pleads not guilty to all 7 charges in fresh illegal mining case, granted 10 million CD bail. Now, this is the story. When you read the story, it says that the Ashanti Regional Chairman of the NPP, Bernard Chukwueze, popularly known as Chairman Wontumi, has pleaded not guilty to all 7 charges leveled against him and 4 others over alleged illegal mining activities in the Tanom Rainforest Reserve at Samaboy in the Western region. It says, this comes just hours after he appeared in a separate case earlier today, where he was placed on a stop list and granted 15 million cedis bail after pleading not guilty to 6 mining-related charges. So, this paragraph of the story clearly established that there are 2 separate cases, both on alleged involvement in illegal mining, that Chairman Wontumi is facing. It said, Wontumi appeared before the High Court on Tuesday, October 7, 2025, alongside the representative of Akonta Mining Company Limited and other associates accused of engaging in unauthorized mining operation and environmental destruction within a protected forest reserve. He is accused of, among others, destroying 13 hectares of land in the Tanom Rainforest. And I would like you to note the number of hectares here and also the Tanom Rainforest, because I'll come back to it when I build the background story for you. The story goes further to read, after hearing submissions from both prosecution and defense, the court admitted Chairman Wontumi to bail in the sum of 10 million with 2 sureties, one of whom must justify with landed property. Now, what are the 7 charges he's being charged on? The count 1 is undertaking a mining operation without a license. 2, undertaking a mining operation without a license. 3, undertaking a mining operation without a license. Count 4, felling of trees in forest reserve without written authority. 5, abatement of unauthorized felling of trees. 6, erecting buildings in a forest reserve without written authority. 7, abatement of unauthorized erection of buildings in a forest reserve. So these are the 7 counts, and Wontumi pleaded not guilty. When you sum up the bail conditions of the 2 cases, it comes to some 25 million cedis, and he must justify with 2 properties. One must be landed property, so a house, a property, or something of that nature. So that's basically a summary of what happened to Wontumi. But the issue with Wontumi didn't begin in 2025. It didn't begin in 2025. For me, based on the study, the production, Leo, together myself established, we noticed that this story began on September 30, 2022. What happened in September 2022? Erastus Asaridonko, who has been a lead voice when it comes to Galamsey, has done his documentary, shown drone footages of the activities of Akonta mining in the Tanom Rim Reserve. There were a lot of media talkability about it. How am I saying this? When I read the statement for you, there will be that establishment of that claim I just made. Now, on the 30th of September 2022, then under President Akufo-Addo, the ministry issued a statement at the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources, a very strong-worded statement. There's 5 paragraphs. Let me read it for you. It says, the attention of the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources have been drawn to publications about certain operations by Akonta Mining in the Tanom Rainforest Reserve in the Menfi West Municipality in the Central Region. These publications, per my checks, comes from the documentary of Erastus Asaridonko. Paragraph 2. Records available to the ministry shows that while Akonta Mining has a mining lease to undertake mining operations in some part of Samaboy outside the forest reserve, the company has no mineral right to undertake any mining operations in the Tanom Rim Forest Reserve. So before 2025, before Justice Shamsai will prosecute this case, before there will be 2025 President Mama will win the case, in 2022, the Lands Ministry established with this press statement that Wontumi had no business in the Tanom River. That Akonta Mining on 25th August 2022 applied for a mining lease to undertake mining operations in the said forest reserve. By a ministerial directive, all recognizance, prospecting, or exploratory activities in forest reserves in the country are suspended, except in exceptional circumstances. Now, please take note of this. The statement reads, although this directive does not affect mining in forest reserves, Akonta Mining Limited's application has not been determined. Accordingly, any alleged activity being undertaken by the company in the forest reserve is illegal. So, on 30th September 2022, the statement from the Lands Ministry established that Wontumi indeed had expressed interest of going into the forest by applying on the 25th of August 2022. The statement came just 5 days away. 30th September 2022, and they established that prior to that statement, Wontumi had not been given the authority or the permission to enter the forest. So that is a bit of some facts in there. Now, the fourth paragraph of the statement reads, the Honorable Minister for Lands and Natural Resources has therefore directed the Forestry Commission to forthwith ensure that the company does not carry out any operation in the forest and to take the necessary action against any person found culpable in this matter. Now, please note that the fourth paragraph of the statement said that the minister directed the Forestry Commission to occasion some investigation. I'll come back to it. Now, let's go on. On that same day, the 30th of September 2022, Occupy Ghana, which we know some of the lead people there are lawyers, released a statement, a very strong worded statement. Let me read it for you. It says that just 2 days ago, on 20th September 2022, we wrote an open letter to the President to ensure that the law, namely the Minerals and Mining Act 2000 Act 703, as amended, is enforced without fear or favor, irrespective of whose horse is God. Today, we have seen a press release from your ministry stating that you have directed the Forestry Commission to halt the mining operations of a company called Akonta Mining Limited in the Tanom Rim Forest Reserve. You state that the basis for this directive is that the said company is undertaking the mining operations without a mining lease, and they attach a copy of the statement of the ministry. Now, this is an interesting part. So those asking what can happen to Wontumi, this is what Occupy Ghana says, not Eugene Osei-Tutu. It reads, while congratulating you on this step, we will be taken aback if that was all you did. If the company is engaged in the activities that you have alleged, then it is committing an offense that is punishable by fine and prison terms between 15 and 25 years. Specifically, they quoted the Minerals and Mining Act, Act 703, specifically the Section 992A. So Wontumi can go to jail. Yes. According to Occupy Ghana, and I know they are led by serious lawyers in this country, Lawyer Isankoma and the likes. So that is the statement of Occupy Ghana. And I didn't end there. 10 days after the release of that statement by the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources, the Office of Special Prosecutor also released a very strong statement. In fact, let me read the statement. For it says that the Office of the Special Prosecutor has commenced an investigation into suspected corruption and corruption-related offences in respect of illegal small-scale mining. Note, this statement is also the 10th of October 2022. Now, it goes further to say the investigation targets some officials of the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources and the Forestry Commission. It also targets the activities and expenditure of the dissolved Interministerial Committee on Illegal Mining, especially in respect of the seize and management of excavators, machinery, road vehicles, and gold nuggets. Remember the issues about the Professor Frimpong Boateng Committee, the Charles BC issue, and all that. So how does that connect to Wontumi? The third paragraph of the statement connects to Wontumi. And again, the statement was released on the 10th of October 2022, 10 days after Samuel Abujinapo occasioned the 30th September 2022 statement. It says, the investigation further directs or targets, that's the word you use, target, the activities of Akonta Mining Limited and other companies. So on the 10th of October, the OSP said that they've had an interest in the matter brought publicly by the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources. In fact, their investigation, they used the operative word target. So Wontumi has always been a target of law enforcement as far back as 3 years ago, at least per this documented evidence. Now, what happened subsequent to that? in January 2023, there was a clergy activity in Koforidua, where I grew up. Engineer Kenashigwe was part of the people who were on the high table. In fact, he was the chairman of the occasion. As part of his comment on the day, because President Kufuor was present, he asked the president what has happened to the Kunta mining case. Because prior to that, the Media Coalition Against Illegal Mining had filed a petition. So Engineer Kenashigwe, the Media Coalition, Martin Pebu have filed a petition to the police ID to cause the arrest of Chairman Wontumi over the documented evidence Erastus adduced, over the statement of Occupy Ghana, over the statement of the Lands Ministry. The president responded to Engineer Kenashigwe. This is what he had to say.
Let me respond briefly to the chairperson. Let me respond briefly to the chairperson on the issue of illegal mining. I want to assure him and all of you that Akonta mining is not engaged in any illegal mining anywhere in Ghana as we speak.
Let me in January 2023. The next day, Kenashigwe spoke on Joy News and they say that, well, the president may say nothing except by crime has no expiry date. Now let me go back. I'm not a lawyer. I'm quoting they say that per what the company is doing according to Occupy Ghana, there can be a prison term of 15 to 25 years. So basically, this is the background of the state case against Chairman Wontumi dating back to 2022. The summary of it is that he's now been accused of 7 charges. He's been given a bail of 25 million cedis. He needs to justify some properties to be able to go home. Yesterday, per my check, it rained heavily in Accra. They couldn't do some of the check. They have to go to the Lands Commission to be able to verify some documentation, come back to the registry of the court and all that. That processes couldn't happen, and he had to sleep in police custody. I'm told reliably by his lawyers that this morning that activity will be engaged on again, and Wontumi is likely to go home. But per the background I've given you, the case started as far back as 2022. I believe actually that statement by the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources, then headed by Samuel Abujinapo, the MP for Damango, served as the catalytic effect for Wontumi to get to where he is today. The accusation is that he destroyed some 13 hectares of forest in the Tunnel Marine Forest Reserve in the Western region. In fact, there's also video evidence of the youth of Samaboy also occasioning some demonstration against his company as far back as 2022. This has been a breakdown. As and when we occasion more reports on the subject, we come back with an exciting conversation on your radio. Leo produced this episode. My name is Eugene Osei-Tutu. Thank you for listening.